This is the grafting tutorial for teaching Kitchener stitch for the Nearly Spring Capelet. I have my second larger version here, and I want to show you how to sew it together. So the tail off of the right section, you cut to 3 times longer than the entire graft. So it's kind of a long piece, but you can keep it folded in half most of the time. And you thread it onto a tapestry needle. Pull up lots of tail there. All right, this is a long graft. If toes on socks annoy you, I apologize, but this makes it seamless, and this makes it so that this grafting edge will stretch like the rest of the fabric. If you did a 3-needle bind off or some other seam here, this would be very stiff and it wouldn't stretch down your shoulder and be a seamless cape. The seam is a non-seam. So you're gonna slide your stitches up to the ends of your needles right here. And then here we go. The Kitchener stitch is a weave that mimics knitting. And so we're gonna go back and forth between the needles, making knit stitches back and forth so that it is seamless. So here we go. So the instructions for Kitchener, treat your tapestry needle as if it was a knitting needle. So when the instruction says knit, you put it into the stitch as if it was a knit. And when the instructions say purl, you put it into the stitch as if it was a purl, as if you were going to knit this right off with regular knitting. So here we go. The setup stitches, everything will be front needle and then back needle. The setup stitches are the front needle, you go in as if to purl and pull all your tail through. And the back stitch, you go in as if to knit. If you're having a sharp needle like I do, be careful you don't snag the extra, don't poke through your yarn. Okay, and the weaving will be underneath the needles. We'll keep everything down here. All right, so your pattern for Kitchener is on the front needle. You go in as if to knit, slip it off, turn it around, and go into the second one as if to purl, and you leave it there. And I usually find I like to grip for this gauge. It doesn't work as well for socks where it's tiny, but I usually keep my finger in the middle and then use my thumb and my middle finger to, grab and manage the stitches off the ends. And the back, you go purl, slip it off, and knit, and leave it on. And the weaving goes underneath. And then right here, I'll usually pull it a little snugger than I want, and then pull back on the fabric. It's hard to tell here at the end. It'll look a little more consistent once we get up. So front needle, knit, slip, purl, pull through. Back needle, purl, slip, knit. It's not actually complicated, and it's got a nice rhythm to it. Pull, pull, and you just want to make sure that your weaving stitches kind of look like knits or slightly tighter. Slightly tighter is a little less noticeable because we're doing it in garter. That's why I put the garter here. Front needle, knit, slip, purl. Whoops, and if it pops on top, you've got to make sure and get it back to the bottom. Purl, slip, knit. Little tug, tug it back. Knit, slip, purl, purl, slip, knit. Knit, slip, purl, purl, slip, knit. Little tug, take it back. And then every inch or so, you can turn it and look at it and see if you like what you're doing. The piece I'm using is this lighter green, and so it's down through there. Looking pretty decent. And then these purl ridges will want to pull themselves together, and that will hide that a little bit. So that's it, and you follow it all the way to the end.